Guys, we have some very interesting technical analysis to do on Bitcoin, so let's go ahead and jump onto the chart. We can see here that there is an ascending trading channel going on, an ascending wedge going on Bitcoin down on the 1 hourly chart. In fact, we've also seen that there's something called a parabolic trend line showing up as resistance and also as support right here. Excuse me, I'm sorry. That's the coffee coming back up, telling you guys how much you should like the stream. Ooh. Anywho, this is what is known as a parabolic trend line. These are parabolic uptrends, and they're forming this like horn pattern. I don't think there's a technical term for this, but this is an interesting movement. It means that Bitcoin is going parabolic, and it does indicate strength of the bulls, increasing strength of the bulls, which is a good sign. What are you looking at, Smeg?
Nothing.
What are you doing? He's giving me a weird look. Why are you messing with me?
Nothing. I didn't know.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not messing.
Smeg's always messing with me.
I'm not
Tam.
messing with you.
Oh my goodness. Anyway,
you never know with you.
You never know with him.
Keep going. Just keep going.
Anyway, I have a feeling you put something weird on the screen.
No. Just keep talking about that formation.
We will find out after the stream because again, we will never know.
I'm scared.
That's not what we're.
I'm scared, but that's okay. We can also see here that the 20 exponential moving average is providing support for Bitcoin. It hasn't shown up yet, but I know it well enough to know that it is. We can see right here that the 20 EMA has been bounced off of by the market, and it has held as support on the 1 hourly chart. And we can also see down here on the hourly chart that there has been a bullish cross on the MACD, and the MACD, the RSI has rallied up to around 70. That is a very good sign. Whenever RSI rallies up towards that 60 and 70 region, you might think, oh my gosh, the market's getting overextended, but that's not actually true. Before you break the speed limit, you gotta like get up to the speed limit, right? What would a cop say? He'd say, I want you going the speed limit, I don't want you going much slower, I don't want you going any faster, but I want you going right there around the speed limit, because that's what's safe. If you go 20, 30 miles an hour under the speed limit, a director of marketing, Shannon, who always goes like 5 miles an hour in a 50. Anyway, that's some
when his car is working.
When his car is working, which is almost never.
Yeah.
You would notice that you want to go right up to that speed limit, right? It means that you're doing what you should be doing. RSI is very similar. You want it to be around that 60 to 70 region. You don't want it being any higher, really, but you also don't want it being really, really low, because both of those can be dangerous. You want that RSI sitting around 60 to 70. It indicates the bulls are strong, but they're not overly extended. This is actually a very good place for the RSI to be. That being said, if we also break up here above 70, it might indicate that the bulls are strong enough to get overextended. If you have a car that is able to go over the speed limit, then you know you got a good car, right? Hopefully, anyway. You got a car that has some acceleration, you can get out of situations that you don't want to be in, you can merge onto the interstate quickly. Just because you can go really fast doesn't mean you should, but it is a good sign if you are able. Hope that analogy made sense. Probably didn't. But the point is, if we see RSI able to breach 70, go up towards 80 or 90, that means the bulls are very strong right now. So keep an eye out for that RSI. If we continue to rally here, it is a sign that we might be breaking resistance, of which there is quite strong resistance right above us, and it's sitting right here at $36,300 and change. We are currently just above this resistance level, just a little bit. Actually, we're below it because we're at $36,280 at the moment. But there is strong resistance sat here exactly around $36,185 based on this high right back over here on the 20th of June. We saw the market rally almost to this level back on the 24th of June as well, when we rallied up to $35,500. And if we back extrapolate this trend line, you guys will see that there has been a plethora of trading around it. We saw resistance touches on it here on June the 19th. We saw resistance touches here on June the 12th, support touches on the 10th and the 11th, and then a ton of trading in late May and early June. This is a level that Bitcoin desperately needs to breach if it's going to continue into a new uptrend. Remember, guys, trends are defined by higher highs and higher lows. Right now, we need to set a higher high first, and then we can worry about a higher low. At the moment, we've kind of set a higher high above this high that we put in on the 24th of June, but that's only 5 days ago. We want to see a little bit more than that to really be confident. I would like to see that RSI rally up into that 75-80 region and then have a healthy correction just to prove what it can do. That's what I would like to see, and I think it will happen, just so you know. However, we also do need to keep in mind this ascending wedge. These are statistically likely to break bearish. 70% of the time, they will break bearish. It's never a guarantee. There's no such thing in technical analysis, but normally they do break to the downside. Keep that in mind. If it does, then we would likely be pulling back to support around that mid-30s region, probably around $35,000. In fact, $35,000 exactly is a very likely level of support if we do break to the downside. Also look for the 20 exponential moving average on the hourly chart as support. I also want to point out what Lux Algo is saying. Lux Algo over here has been very, very helpful. Once it turns on, I will show you. I was using it before the stream started. You guys can notice right here that we have a buy signal right here in the middle of this, Great buy signal, great opportunity to buy. We also saw there was a sell signal right down here. You would have caught the last half of this. We also saw that there was a sell signal right up here in the beginning of this downtrend and a strong buy signal right here. Lux Algo has been very, very helpful lately. If you're interested in signing up for Lux Algo, it is a very helpful technical indicator that I personally use in my own technical analysis. And truth be told, I haven't even actually calibrated it correctly for the 1 hour chart, and it's still doing pretty well. I want to go into the Discord and mess with it all, but the point is it's a very useful technical indicator if you are interested in it. The link's in the description box down below. You can sign up using coupon code JEB, J-E-B-B, at checkout and get 20% off. Anywho, guys, that's all I got for Bitcoin. We have strong resistance, TLDR, we have strong resistance at $36,300. We need to break it. If we don't, we're probably going back down to 35. If we do break it, we're probably rallying up towards 40. That's really what all of this comes out to say.
Out of curiosity, Jeb, where are you getting the 36.3?
36.3, I am getting
What date are you looking at that you're putting that as the level of resistance?
I am looking at, on the hourly chart, I'm looking at a little local peak at 1600 hours UTC -4 on the 20th of June on the hourly chart.
Okay, because what I had was, I had a level of resistance, and again, here's an example where TA is not identical. It doesn't always look the same. I had a level of resistance at 36,132 because I was looking at the 4 hourly chart, and I think it set that right around those days, right in the 19th, 20th, that area.
Yep.
So, okay, it not that far off. However, if what I'm saying about the 36,100 is good, and we can hold above that, it puts us into a little channel. Now, is your next level of resistance sitting right there around that 37,800, 37,700, somewhere in there?
Yeah, my next level of resistance would be right up here around 37,800. Yeah,
that's a nice little pocket. I would love to see Bitcoin confirm right above and turn that level of resistance into support at that 36, whether it's 100 or 300. We're kind of flirting right now. We're at 36,300 anyway. But if we could turn that into support and fluctuate right in there, first of all, for my prediction. If we even break that 37 would be nice for my
I'm seeing 37,800 roughly based on some highs that we set back on June the 10th, and then there's also some Fibonacci levels in here. If I bring up my other chart, you guys can see that there is a strong bit of Fibonacci support sitting around 37,200 all the way up to resistance all the way up to 38,000, excuse me. So those are a few levels to be looking out for. Also, the mid level here on our rally from $9,800 back in September when we started this rally. This bull market, all the way up to $65,000. The midpoint there is 37,300, so that's a level that you're going to want to pay attention to, which is right in that zone as well. That's actually almost exactly where we're talking about. Here's a very important teachable moment. This is why I like that Tim is learning technical analysis and has gotten to the point where he can say, hey, Jeb, but what about this? You guys need to understand, there's a reason that I want you to look at other analysts. There's a reason why I want you to go and watch other YouTubers, not just myself, and why I want you to be able to do your own analysis. It's because you and I, and me and Tim, and me and Smay, we're not always going to see things eye to eye. But if we're all following principles of technical analysis, we'll probably see things pretty similarly. One thing you got to keep in mind about levels of support and resistance is that nothing really acts as a level. We draw it as a level because it's simple, but it's more like an area of probability. Before I went into engineering and then dropped out of college to start this YouTube channel, I decided that I wanted to go into astrophysics. And one of the things I loved studying was quantum mechanics and field theory, about how electrons show up as probability fields rather than very simple orbitals. You can never tell, based on the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, you can never tell the exact speed and location of a subatomic particle that is of a certain size. So there's always a probability field. You only kind of know where an electron is going to be at any one given time based on where it might be, because you can't know exactly because of Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. I'm not going to go into all this. This is not a quantum mechanics show, but the point is, it's the same thing on resistance levels. Just because you draw a resistance level at $37,186.24 doesn't mean everyone else is going to. Yeah. So look at resistance and support levels more as zones of probability and zones of, resistance coming together, because what you're really trying to do when you're doing technical analysis is you're trying to figure out how everyone else is seeing the market so that you see it similarly, so that you can trade based off of how other people will trade. That's why we say technical analysis is an art, not a science. It takes a lot of skill, it takes a lot of wisdom, it takes a lot of experience, and you also need to be using it to try and figure out what other people are thinking. So it's useful to have other voices. That's why this channel is hopefully useful to you guys, so you can hear our voice, compare it to what you are seeing, and then come to your own conclusions.